Stop scrolling, because the old dollar coin sitting in your jar could be hiding far more than face value. From Eisenhower dollars to rare bicentennial pieces, one tiny mint mark, one silver version, or one hidden error can turn an ordinary coin into a serious collector hunt. In this video, we're breaking down the exact details that make these coins powerful, famous, and worth checking. So watch till the end, because your best coin find might already be in your home. Stay with me till the end, subscribe now, and check your coin jars carefully, because the coin everyone overlooks is sometimes the one worth saving. Let's get started. A 1972 Eisenhower dollar is the kind of coin that instantly feels important the moment it lands in your hand. It's big, bold, heavy, and stamped with the kind of patriotic design that makes even non-collectors stop and look twice. On the front you have Dwight D. Eisenhower, the hero of World War II and the 34th President of the United States, with "Liberty and in God we trust" surrounding his portrait. On the back, United States of America, E pluribus unum, $1, and that dramatic eagle and moon design, framed by stars, create a coin that looks powerful even before anyone talks about value. That's exactly why Eisenhower dollars perform so well in coin videos. They feel historic, they look serious, and they create the perfect "what if this is worth more than I think" moment. What makes the 1972 Eisenhower dollar especially exciting is that it sits in one of the most talked about years of the entire series. Most people think all Eisenhower dollars are just large old dollar coins, but collectors know 1972 is different. This is one of those dates where small reverse design differences can completely change the conversation. To an ordinary person, the eagle reverse may look the same on every coin. To a collector, certain 1972 reverse styles are far more important than others. That's what makes this coin such a strong treasure hunt story. The difference between a normal coin and a much more desirable coin can hide in design details that most people would never notice without being shown exactly where to look. The Eisenhower dollar itself already carries a built-in emotional advantage because of the man on the coin. Dwight D. Eisenhower was not just a president, he was one of the defining military leaders of the 20th century. A central figure in Allied victory during World War II, and later a national leader during a critical period of American history. That gives the coin a weight beyond metal. It is not just a dollar. It is a tribute to leadership, war, victory, and American power. In a YouTube script, that kind of history matters because it gives the coin depth. Viewers are not only checking a coin for value, they are holding a piece of a much larger American story. Now comes the real collector twist that keeps audiences watching. Not every 1972 Eisenhower dollar is the same, even when the date matches. The reverse design on certain 1972 coins is where the hunt begins, especially in the Earth image above the eagle on the moon. Collectors often separate these into different reverse types, and one of those types is much more famous and sought after than the others. That means the average viewer could have two coins dated 1972 and never realize one gets far more collector attention. This is the kind of detail that makes people run to old jars, inherited coin boxes, and dresser drawers, because suddenly they are not checking just for a date. They are checking for a hidden design secret. Condition is another huge part of the value story, and with Eisenhower dollars it matters a lot, because these large coins get marked up easily. Their wide surfaces pick up contact marks, scratches, dullness, and edge hits fast, especially after years in circulation or storage. A coin with strong original luster, cleaner fields, and sharper details on Eisenhower's portrait and the eagle reverse can already stand out from the crowd. That's one of the strongest truths in modern coin collecting. Rarity does not always mean few were made. Sometimes it means few survived looking this good. A 1972 Eisenhower dollar in outstanding condition can attract serious interest even before you start talking about special reverse types or mint errors. Then comes the part that drives the most engagement: errors and varieties. A 1972 Eisenhower dollar can become much more interesting if it shows a genuine mint-made mistake. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, cuds, and strike-through errors can all turn an already dramatic coin into a true collector piece. Because the coin is large, those errors often show clearly on camera, which is why Eisenhower dollars are so good for visual storytelling. And beyond obvious mint errors, the reverse-type differences in 1972 make this year even more famous. That's where your audience gets pulled deeper in, because now the coin is not just old and big, it is specific, technical, and potentially special. But the strongest coin scripts always protect the viewer from hype, and that's important here too. Not every 1972 Eisenhower dollar is rare, and not every strange-looking coin is valuable. Many old dollars are simply damaged, cleaned, scratched, or worn, and those problems often reduce value rather than raise it. A lot of viral posts throw around huge numbers and don't spend this claims without explaining that the market rewards verified types, real errors, and strong condition, not just the date alone. So the smart message is this: don't assume, inspect. Look at the reverse carefully, compare the earth details and overall design. Check the surfaces under light, and never clean the coin if you think it might be collectible. The reason coins like the 1972 Eisenhower dollar keep going viral is simple. They combine size, history, mystery, and real collector potential in one unforgettable package. Most examples are ordinary, but the right reverse style, the right condition, or the right mint error can turn this coin into something people genuinely chase. That is the thrill. Not fantasy, but possibility. So if you have old Eisenhower dollars in a jar, drawer, or inherited collection, don't rush to spend them. Check them closely, compare them carefully, and treat the suspicious ones with respect. Because in coin collecting, the biggest stories often begin with the coins that look too ordinary to matter, until one hidden detail changed everything. Keep a close eye on your change, because that hidden treasure might be sitting right in your pocket. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a big find. Stay tuned, because in the next video, we're diving into another legendary coin that could be worth a small fortune. Next up, a 1974 Eisenhower dollar doesn't enter the room quietly. It arrives with weight, size, and presence. The kind of coin that feels more like an artifact than spare change. Before anyone even talks about value, it already looks important. Dwight D. Eisenhower's portrait on the front, Liberty and In God We Trust around him, and on the back that powerful eagle descending toward the moon beneath United States of America, E pluribus unum, and $1. It's the kind of coin that makes people stop mid-sentence and ask, wait, do I have one of those? And that's exactly why it works so well in a high-engagement story. It looks historic, sounds patriotic, and carries just enough mystery to turn an ordinary coin jar into a treasure hunt. What makes the 1974 Eisenhower dollar so interesting is that it sits in the middle of a short-lived but unforgettable dollar coin era in the United States. These big dollars were never truly embraced in daily life the way smaller coins were, and that gives them a strange, almost cinematic energy today. They feel official, serious, and oversized compared to modern change. Eisenhower himself adds even more gravity to the story. He was not only the 34th President of the United States, but also a legendary military leader from World War II, a figure associated with discipline, command, and victory. That means this coin is not just a $1 piece of metal. It is a national symbol carrying war history, presidential identity, and Cold War-era American confidence, all in one design. Now here's the truth that makes your script stronger and more believable. Most 1974 Eisenhower dollars are not millionaire coins. In normal circulated condition, many are worth only a modest premium above face value, and some are simply collected as nostalgic large dollars. But that honesty is what keeps the audience with you, because now the real mystery becomes more exciting. If most are ordinary, what makes some worth saving? The answer is always in the details: mint mark, composition, condition, strike quality, and any real mint-made abnormalities. That is the collector mindset, and it's far more powerful than empty hype. The first serious thing collectors check is where the coin was made. A $1,974 could come from Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D, or San Francisco with an S on special collector issues. That matters because not all versions live in the same market. A normal circulation issue is one story, while special collector strikes and silver-clad versions from San Francisco belong to a very different conversation. This is what makes the coin feel more layered than it first appears. The average person sees $1,974. The collector sees a decision tree. Which mint, which finish, which composition, which condition, and does anything about this coin separate it from the normal population? Condition becomes a huge part of the value discussion with Eisenhower dollars because these coins are large, open, and brutally honest. They show every scrape, every contact mark, every dull patch of wear. The wide fields around Eisenhower's portrait and the broad reverse design make damage easy to spot, which means truly clean examples stand out immediately. A coin with strong original luster, fewer bag marks, and sharper detail on the eagle reverse can feel dramatically different from the average worn example. That's one of the most important lessons for viewers. On big dollar coins, eye appeal matters a lot. A coin doesn't need to be ancient to become desirable. It just needs to survive better than almost all the others. The reverse is one of the strongest visual hooks in the whole series. The eagle descending toward the moon, adapted from Apollo-era imagery, gives the coin a sense of motion and power that many other dollar coins simply don't have. The stars and Earth above the eagle make the reverse feel almost space-age, a perfect match for the patriotic confidence of the era. That means the coin speaks in two directions at once. Eisenhower on the front ties it to military and presidential leadership, while the reverse ties it to American ambition, technology, and national pride. For a video, that's gold, because you're not just talking about value. You're talking about symbolism viewers can feel even if they know nothing about coin collecting. Then you move into the most exciting part, the hunt for the unusual. A 1974 Eisenhower dollar can become much more interesting if it shows real mint errors or standout characteristics. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchettes, die cracks, strike-through errors, and unusual surface features can all turn a large dollar coin into a collector magnet. Because the coin is so big, errors often show clearly, and that makes them especially strong for audience engagement. The viewer doesn't have to imagine the difference. They can often see it immediately. And on top of that, special silver-clad collector issues add another level of intrigue. Because now the question becomes not just, is it old? But what exact version of 1974 do I have? The strongest ending for a 1974 Eisenhower dollar story is simple and compelling. This coin is not valuable because the internet says every old dollar is rare. It becomes valuable when the coin itself proves it through the right mint, the right composition, the right condition, or the right mint-made mistake. Most examples are ordinary, but the few that rise above that are exactly why people keep searching old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten drawers. So don't clean it, don't rush to spend it, and don't assume big old dollars are all the same. Because sometimes the coin that feels like a relic is just that, and sometimes it's also the one hidden piece that collectors were hoping someone would finally notice. Next up, the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar is one of those coins that feels bigger than money the second you hold it. It is not just large in size, it is large in symbolism. The dual date instantly tells you this was not an ordinary one-year issue, but a coin struck to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the United States. On the front is Dwight D. Eisenhower, war hero and 34th president, a figure connected to military strength and national leadership. On the back is one of the most unforgettable reverses in modern U.S. coinage, the Liberty Bell in front of the moon. That design alone gives the coin a dramatic identity, because it fuses America's revolutionary past with its space-age future in one image. What makes this Eisenhower dollar so powerful for collectors and viewers is that it looks important even before anyone knows the details. The coin is round, heavy, bold, and impossible to confuse with a penny, nickel, or quarter. It feels ceremonial. And that is exactly why bicentennial dollars pull so much attention online. People see the date 1776 to 1976 and immediately think they may be holding something rare, historic, or secretly valuable. That emotional reaction is real, and it is part of what makes this coin such a strong topic for videos. The best coin stories begin with recognition, and this is a coin people remember the moment they see it. Now here is the truth that makes the story more believable and more exciting at the same time. Most bicentennial Eisenhower dollars are not millionaire coins. Many are common, especially standard circulation strikes in worn condition. But that does not make them unimportant. It makes the hunt sharper. Because in the collector world, value is never just about the date. It is about the version of the coin, the condition, the composition, the strike quality, and whether anything about it separates it from the large group of ordinary survivors. That is where the real thrill begins, because now the viewer is not just looking for a date. They are looking for the right date in the right form. The Liberty Bell and Moon Reverse is one of the main reasons this coin became so famous. It is one of the most visually symbolic reverses ever used on an American dollar coin. The Liberty Bell represents the birth of the nation, while the moon reflects the modern era of U.S. ambition, technology, and space exploration. That contrast is powerful. It says this coin belongs to both the founding of America and the future America imagined for itself. In a video, that gives you more than coin value. It gives you atmosphere. It lets the coin feel like a national statement, not just a denomination. That is why even people who are not collectors often save these dollars when they find them. One of the first serious things collectors check is where the coin was minted. Bicentennial Eisenhower dollars can come from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and that changes the whole value conversation. Philadelphia and Denver coins were generally made for circulation, while San Francisco issues often include special collector versions, including silver-clad proofs and uncirculated coins. That is a major detail, because two coins with the same 1776 to 1976 date can belong to completely different markets. One might be common pocket jar material, while another could be a collector issue with stronger demand. This is why mint mark and finish matter so much. The coin is telling you what it is, but only if you know how to read it. Condition becomes huge with Eisenhower dollars because these coins are large and brutally honest. Their broad surfaces show contact marks, dullness, scrapes, and wear very easily. A circulated example may still be fun to own, but a cleaner coin with stronger luster and fewer marks stands out fast. That is where many viewers get surprised. A coin that seemed ordinary can suddenly feel premium just because it survived better than expected. In modern collecting, this happens all the time. Coins with big mintages can still be valuable in top condition, because so few stayed sharp, attractive, and original. With Eisenhower dollars especially, eye appeal matters a lot. Then comes the part that drives audience engagement the hardest: errors and special traits. A bicentennial Eisenhower dollar can become far more interesting if it shows a genuine mint-made error. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, cuds, and strike-through errors can all transform a normal dollar into a collector conversation piece. Because the coin is so large, these errors can be easier to spot than on small denominations, which makes them perfect for videos and close-up comparisons. Add to that the possibility of silver-clad collector versions, proof finishes, and standout high-grade examples, and suddenly, the coin stops being just a bicentennial dollar and starts becoming a real search target. But the strongest coin content always includes one important warning. Not every unusual coin is rare, and not every old-looking coin is valuable. A lot of Eisenhower dollars have been cleaned, scratched, stained, or damaged after they left the mint. Those issues can make them look dramatic without making them desirable. The market rewards originality, not harsh polishing. It rewards real mint-made differences, not random damage. So the best advice is simple. If you think your 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar looks special, do not clean it, do not guess, and do not rush to sell it. Check the mint mark, check the finish, look closely at the surfaces, and compare it to known normal examples. That is why the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar still matters so much. It combines patriotic symbolism, a famous president, a memorable reverse, and the real possibility that a special version is hiding among ordinary ones. Most will not change anyone's life overnight, but the few that stand out do so for reasons collectors deeply respect: silver composition, proof quality, top-grade preservation, and genuine mint errors. And that is what makes this coin such a strong story. It reminds people that history can sit quietly in a drawer for years, waiting for someone to finally look close enough to understand what they have. These old dollar coins may look ordinary, but the smallest detail, the right mint mark, or one hidden error can turn a forgotten coin into a serious collector find. Before you spend any Eisenhower or bicentennial dollar, check it closely, because the coin sitting quietly in your jar could be worth far more than you think. Subscribe now for more rare U.S. coin discoveries, hidden value clues, and powerful collector stories that most people overlook.